I want to talk today about something which affects me a lot, and that's women in science. I'm not yet a woman in science, and yet given the horrific statistics that I'm bombarded with by the press, I think I have good reason to be quite afraid of that. Women are vastly underrepresented in STEM subjects. For those of you that don't know, STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. In the US, less than a fifth of all physics doctorate degrees awarded each year go to women. In the UK, only 7% of engineering jobs are held by women. 1 year after graduation, 6% of male physics graduates are earning over £40,000 a year, which is fantastic. But in this survey, not a single woman was. It's not a nice fact, but the disparity of women in STEM subjects cannot be ignored. There is no other field that I feel about so passionately than this. For a long time now, I have known that physics and talking about physics is what I want to do with my life. However, coming into secondary school, I had no interest in any form of science. I had always been told that my brother would be the maths one and I would be the arts one, and that's just how it would be. I was going to be a writer or something. I never thought to question it. But in year 7, I had this incredible science teacher who made everything seem interesting to me, even biology. And one time, we had this amazing lesson on orbits and the solar system and space and all of the fun stuff, and I was absolutely enraptured. This was a whole new world of interest and knowledge, a better story than I could ever hope to write, and the best part was it was all completely real. For the first time, I decided that maybe I should question things. I stayed behind and I wanted to know what gravity was and why it made things move the way they did. And my teacher tried to answer those as best she could, an overexcited 12-year-old. And although she didn't answer all of my questions completely, she certainly sparked an interest that continued and flourished throughout my life inside and outside of school. But I was lucky. I had and have teachers who encourage and support my interests, and that is something I feel many young women and girls miss out on. As I said, it was expected of me that my future would have something to do with the arts, and my brother would be the one to go into science. I broke out of this pattern. I'm obnoxious enough to want to outdo my brother at every available opportunity, but not all women have this motivation. For some, it is all too easy to keep within the predetermined patterns, and that, I believe, is where the problem stems. Women are discouraged from these subjects at an early age. Where my brother was given chemistry sets complete with bubbling liquids and slime, I was given make-your-own perfume kits. And that, I think, sums it up. In an isolated system, a girl can easily be interested in science. But in a mixed-sex situation, women are discouraged. We don't want to take up these heavy subjects. I mean, you can see this trend in the amount of people taking physics A-levels, or the trends within that. If you go to a single-sex school and you're a girl, you are 2.5 times more likely to take physics A-level than you are if you go to a mixed-sex school. In 2011, 49% of mixed-sex schools sent no women to do A-level physics. In my year, there are 20 of us doing AS-level physics, but only 5 of us are women. There seems to be this common misconception that girls just aren't as good at these sort of subjects. This isn't just wrong, it's poisonous. This year, more girls got A's and A stars at GCSE physics than boys, and yet we make up only 20% of those taking the subject for A-level. So what this shows is that girls are not worse than boys at physics, or any other subject for that matter. We in fact outperform them at chemistry and biology. But biology is the only A-level subject where it was the majority of women. When it comes to choosing these things, women just aren't choosing STEM. And it's not university. The problem is not with A-levels. The problem is not with GCSEs, or it's not with innate ability. The problem is much deeper than that. The problem is the gender stereotyping that penetrates every aspect of our society. Women are stereotypically weaker, less intelligent, weak-willed. Our society silences us and overlooks us at every turn, no matter how hard that is to believe. One of the most heartbreaking examples of this that I've come across is that of Cecilia H. Payne. In 1925, when most other scientists thought the stars to be made of heavy elements, she published a doctoral dissertation claiming that the stars consisted mainly of hydrogen. Henry Norris Russell, a leading contemporary on stellar spectra at the time, dismissed her thesis as impossible. But 4 years later, he published a doctoral dissertation claiming these as his own conclusions. She wrote what is arguably the single most important astrophysics PhD of the 20th century, but I doubt you know her name. I certainly didn't. But there is hope. We have progressed. This year, the first woman in history won the Fields Medal of Mathematics, one of the most prestigious awards available. Overall, the amount of women doing bachelor's degrees in STEM subjects is increasing, although computer science is drastically lagging behind. One of the presenters of the popular program Sky at Night is Dr. Maggie Adrian-Pocock, a space scientist and graduate of Imperial College London who has been the subject of many fantastic biographical articles on women in science. Things are heading in the right direction, but we can't achieve equality in science without first destroying the inaccurate and harmful stereotypes that hold us back. Science is a subject of logic, and it seems only logical to welcome women into science. More people means more potential for discovery. We cannot maximize the amount of people in STEM subjects if half of the population is being discouraged. This is not a case of boys versus girls. Call it feminism, call it equality, call it girl power, call it whatever you want, because I call it logic. And the logic is on our side. The evidence is on our side, and now all we need is for the facts to be there too.